see, this is why I wasn't going too crazy over the big pump of Bitcoin. I need to see how this week ends. Today is already Friday, so the week is coming close to an end. We have an upcoming Death Cross coming up, and that's where the 7-week is going to cross below the 30-week. You can see the price is still below both moving averages. It is back below the Fibonacci line. This candle is pulling back. The bigger the shadow of this candle, the more bearish this candle becomes. The smaller the shadow, the more bullish this candle becomes when the candle closes. So for now, the weekly chart remains in a bearish posture, and we wait and see how the candle closes.
That as long as Bitcoin remains below the 21 weekly average, that blue line you see there, bears, in other words, the sellers are in control. So given the fact that Bitcoin still remains below the 21 weekly average, sellers still have the edge. Sellers are in control at the moment, okay? That's one reason. The second reason is this, that the action on Bitcoin today clearly suggests to me that this has been a bull trap. So in other words, and by the way, guys, I mentioned this in the members video yesterday. So if you're a member and if you watched the members video yesterday, I said this. I said, watch these two moving averages, the blue line and the green line. That is a 21 daily moving average, and that is a 200 simple moving average. I said these two levels are coming together and merging. You see this? When these two lines merged this week, I knew this was going to be important. And that's why I said this in the members video, that very likely Bitcoin was going to struggle getting above and closing above these levels. And you can see Bitcoin did not close above these two lines. So you can see Bitcoin did actually get above these levels, as you can see on this candle bar, but it did not close above it. Okay, the candle bar did not actually close with a green bar above this. In fact, Bitcoin sold off from those levels and is now below those two moving averages, the 200 and the 21 moving averages there. This tells me that very likely this was a bull trap, because here's what's happening here. Bitcoin went above these two lines, above the 21 daily moving average and the 200, essentially fooling everyone to thinking, here we go, guys. This is now a bull market continuation. We're now back into bullish territory. And guess what? It did not stay above it and then quickly collapsed and fell back below it. Essentially dragging any of those longs, so anyone who got long at these levels, above these two lines, essentially pulling down the bulls and dragging the buyers down with it. This shows to me very likely this was a bull trap. Okay, so by the way, this also means this. It also means that if Bitcoin does, for some reason, the next few days, if Bitcoin does in the next few days get above this high that it made today, about 8,800, I will have to change my mind and get bullish again. Okay, but for the moment, as long as Bitcoin remains below this high that it made today, and more importantly, as long as it remains below the 21 weekly, there it is, 21 weekly, okay, as long as it remains below these key levels, sellers still have the edge, and we may still see further downside potential. Above those levels,
sharing with you right now is my own thoughts about how I'm going to start building this long position, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this period here as an opportunity to start building. And the reason why I think that we are most likely going to start moving up towards 14K is because we clearly broke back into the falling wedge right there, because you can see the immense amount of volume that came in right there. So if we zoom out, you can see that we broke into the falling wedge again as we jumped back in there. And of course we got rejected by the 200 daily moving average. But if we go out to the daily and bring out the let me bring out the 200 daily moving average, I think that the next attempt to break the 200 daily will be successful. So if you just take a look at this, you can see that Bitcoin almost is doing some form of a head and shoulders pattern here. And right now we got rejected for the second time. I believe that Bitcoin is right now going to gear up for another attempt in the future here. And I believe that that attempt has a very high chance of actually being successful. And that's why I want to build my long position right now. And that is the riskier way. Remember what I said for the past few weeks. The very, very, very safe way here is to wait for Bitcoin to break above the 200 daily and get a daily close, of course, above the daily. That's crucial. When we have a daily close above the daily, at that point, I think that that would be the very, very safe way. But I am choosing right now to start building in the more risky way because I just see that the Bitcoin chart is just so bullish right now.
The 200-day moving average is traditionally one of the most important moving averages to look at when identifying the price action on a chart of an asset. Okay, and right now, Bitcoin has closed 2 consecutive candle bodies underneath this line. Of course, we have had 2 little wicks get up and above this region. Oh, Kirby, don't you see? The wicks went through it, Kirby. It's bullish. Nah, little James. The 2 candle bodies have actually closed below it, thus not giving us a confirmation yet that the bulls are ready to eclipse this metric and continue bullishly to the upside. Right now, I believe that there may be some telltale signs in here that a dump could potentially be looming in the shadows. And if not, then what are we looking for in terms of targets to the upside? Both directions. Sure, as I've stated, right now I'm speculating short to the downside. But if we do wind up seeing a change here, a potential close above that 200-day, and a potential confirmation of bullish momentum to the upside, you best believe Don Carbonaccio will be looking to play this to the upside as well. Either way this breaks, I'm looking to crush this market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can and get this crypto.